I had just won the lawsuit stepping out of the courthouse, when suddenly a hoarse voice from behind called me husband. I finally found you. Are you still angry? I truly know I was wrong. Hearing that familiar voice, I snapped awake, turned around, and said, don't call me husband. I'm not your husband. Hearing my words, Wendy's eyes instantly welled with tears. Her voice trembling, she said pitifully, don't treat me like this. I haven't signed the divorce agreement yet. We're not divorced. You're still my lawful husband. I know you're still angry. As long as you calm down, you can punish me however you want. Just please don't abandon me. Hearing her words, I shook off her hand annoyed and asked if she wasn't done yet. Do you think we can still go on? Do you want me to release those photos, those videos online, so everyone can see? The esteemed lawyer Wendy turns out to be a woman who cheated in her marriage. After saying that I ignored Wendy's tears and brushed past her, the entire legal circle in the Capitol knew. The beautiful lawyer Wendy loved her husband like her life. To declare her claim, she had my name tattooed on her collarbone. Even when flying across countries for work, she would make time to come back to me. But I stood outside her office, hearing her staff mock. The boss just got back for a few days, and she's off again with Marcus abroad living it up. What do you know? Her husband's desperate and needy. Needs our boss to feed him full. Don't say that. Last time in the office, they went through 6 boxes. I stayed silent, glancing at the message Wendy sent me this morning. This time I'm going abroad to handle a divorce case. Husband wait for me obediently at home. She didn't know the client this time was me. I quietly left. Took a taxi home. On the wall hung our wedding photo, Wendy and me. In the picture, she looked at me with deep affection, while my hand held the video Marcus sent me. In the video, a man's hands were tied, with a black lace-trimmed silk ribbon, to the headboard that belonged to Wendy. His pants half off dangling on his legs. Wendy, always so cold, was now sitting on the man's waist indulging her desires, her body slightly arched back. From her lips, trembling sounds spilled endlessly. I stayed silent for a moment, turned off the screen. The glass window reflected my face, gray as ash. My expression, one of indescribable misery. My hands trembled as I used a secondary account to message Wendy. My wife is in a hotel room with her lover. What should I do? An hour later, she replied to me, keep all evidence of your wife's affair. Send it all to me. I'll sort it out in a few days and send it back to you. Using my secondary account, I entrusted Wendy to help me win this divorce case. Wife, I hope you're satisfied when you receive the evidence. I stayed up all night. The next morning as dawn broke, I heard the roar of an engine downstairs and the screech of tires against the pavement. Wendy carefully climbed the stairs, opened the door to my bedroom, but seeing my silhouette, she froze and called my name. Why are you up so early? I answered honestly. Couldn't sleep, what's wrong? Wendy's eyes showed worrying. She hurriedly came to hug my waist, leaning into my arms, calling my name James. Have I been away too much these past few days? Are you unhappy? I nodded casually. Wendy's heart ached unbearably. She took my hand, softly coaxing, it's my fault. Today I'll cancel all my work to stay with you. I won't go anywhere. I looked up at her, staring at her lips, slowly leaning closer to Wendy. My eyes filled with emotion. As she drew near, about to kiss me, I turned my face away, wiped the kiss mark on her neck, saying, Wendy, you're dirty. Wendy's breath hitched for a moment. A seasoned woman like her had long honed the ability to stay calm in any crisis. She smiled, smoothing the wrinkles on my shirt. I rushed back to be with my husband. Didn't notice, I'll go shower now. I said nothing, stood up to wash my face. Wendy thought she'd hidden it perfectly, unaware that she'd been so nervous she was sweating. The sound of running water echoed in the bathroom. Wendy gripped her phone tightly, whispering sharply, didn't I tell you not to contact me lately? If James finds out, we're both done for. Marcus sounded a bit aggrieved. But sister, I bought that bunny outfit you love most. Don't you want to see it? Wendy didn't respond. Her breath suddenly stopped. Then coldly said, Marcus, start the video. After lunch, Wendy excitedly wanted to take me to a temple fair. The fair was lively, bustling. People passing by dispel the gloom in my heart. Wendy hugged a pile of snacks, coaxing me to eat more. We came to a wishing wall, covered with countless prayer plaques. Wendy held my hand, asking if I wanted to hang one. I shook my head, about to refuse. Wendy's phone suddenly rang. It was Marcus' exclusive ringtone. She hurriedly turned it off, but the other side kept calling back. I calmly looked at her, saying, "Answer it." Wendy picked up, her face full of impatience. "Didn't I say I want to spend today with my husband? Don't call me randomly." I don't know what the other side said. Wendy's breathing became erratic. Her eyes glinted with a greenish hue. She turned to look at me, her face full of guilt, saying, "I'm sorry, James. There's a tough case. I have to go handle it." I nodded, suppressing the disgust in my heart. Work is important. I took a few deep breaths, clenched my fists tightly. At the top of the wishing wall hung the plaque of me and Wendy. On it were written our eternal vows, blurred by the haze of wine. The sincerest wishes of James and Wendy. Back then, Wendy looked at me with love, earnestly saying she hoped we'd stay together forever, grow old together, hoping we'd share a lifetime without parting, through life and death. I once drowned in those ironclad vows, unable to break free. Now the vows have rusted, the love decayed, I no longer need it. Expressionless, I threw the plaque into the trash, turned and left. Marcus texted asking if I was thirsty, insisting I drink blessed water, saying I made him too itchy. "You just spilled red wine on yourselves. I'm drunk. You're not mad, are you?" In the video he sent, Wendy looked at Marcus with a teasing gaze, greedily licking the red wine off his body, from top to bottom, even the private parts. I didn't reply, just saved the evidence. When she returned, I was curled up on the sofa, engrossed in a book. Wendy came up from behind, kissed my cheek lightly, an intimate act I once loved most, now reminded me of today. The image of Marcus licking her body. I shuddered with disgust, retching out loud. Wendy worried for a moment, hurriedly asked James, "What's wrong? Is your stomach pain acting up again?" I cut her off, saying it's fine. Wendy lowered her head guiltily. "It's my fault for being busy today, not staying with you. Tomorrow I'll definitely make it up." She brought over a pile of gifts from behind, all watches and ties I liked. Every time she wronged me, she'd make up for it this way. I smiled without speaking, casually placed the gifts in a corner. Wendy brought me honey water, then went to the kitchen to cut fruit for me. I picked up the book, intending to keep reading. The doorbell rang. Opening the door, a person in a hooded cloak stood there, holding a gift box. It was Marcus, "Mr. Lucas. This is the gift the boss told me to prepare for you. She forgot to bring it back." Marcus handed me the box. Opening it, inside was a silk scarf, the very one Wendy used to blindfold Marcus today. Wendy heard and froze, stepped out from the kitchen. Seeing Marcus, her face changed. She hurriedly stepped forward, stood between me and Marcus. "What are you doing here?" Marcus opened his coat, revealing a leather thigh strap. "Boss, I'm just delivering your gift." Wendy looked at the gift box. Panicked, she glanced at me. Seeing I had no reaction, she quietly sighed in relief. Wendy pushed Marcus' hand. "You've delivered the gift, now go." Marcus didn't linger, just gave me a provocative glance, then left cheerfully. But I knew they wouldn't stop, because Wendy started loosening her hair, her eyes flickering with hesitation, a sign she couldn't hold back. I suppressed my disgust and returned to the room. Not long after, Wendy followed, carrying a glass of hot milk. "James, drink this hot milk and sleep early." I didn't refuse. Drank it all in front of her. After she left, I ran to the bathroom, forced myself to vomit out all the milk. Wendy had been drugged by me. About an hour later, the bed beside me sank. Wendy was carried in by Marcus. Marcus' moans echoed through the room. The sound of clothes tearing. He said, "You're so naughty. Doing this right in front of your husband. Aren't you afraid he'll wake up?" I drugged James with sleeping pills. He won't wake up. I clenched my fists, my teeth grinding uncontrollably. They brazenly did it, right beside me. As they started moving, Wendy's hair brushed across my cheek. "You're amazing, little Marcus. You're a real pile driver." Wendy was lifted by Marcus, from the bed to the balcony for 2 hours. Finally, Wendy was exhausted, moaning for mercy, but he didn't let go. Marcus asked hoarsely, "Sister, is your husband better or am I?" Then suddenly used more force, making Wendy's voice break. "What right do you have to compare with my husband? You're not even worth one of his hairs. If my husband wasn't so gentle, do you think I'd come to you?" Wendy always acted obedient in front of me. I rarely saw her so unrestrained. In the dark, I quietly recorded with my phone. Finally, Marcus, holding scattered clothes in one hand, carried a naked Wendy out with the other. I opened my eyes, staring at the empty ceiling. This would be the last time in my life. I felt heartbreak for Wendy. When I woke up, Wendy was in the garden pruning flowers. The entire field of irises was planted for me. When it came to my preferences, she never let anyone else touch them. Carefully tending to this flower field, she said loving someone is like tending flowers. "James, you are the flower in my heart." Back then, I truly thought I was the happiest man in the world. But flowers wilt. Love fades too. Nothing is forever unchanged. I leaned against the door, silently watching her, sensing my gaze. Wendy looked up, our eyes meeting. She smiled, gentle as a spring breeze. "James, you're awake." Wendy smiled, stood up, wiping her hands. She walked over, hugged my waist, so close I could feel her breath. Her eyes held only my reflection. She stood on tiptoe, placing a soft kiss on the corner of my lips, gentle and reverent. "James, you're awake. I'll go make you breakfast." Watching Wendy busy in the kitchen, I was momentarily lost in thought. When we first got together, she didn't know how to cook, but I had stomach issues and a poor appetite. To make me healthier, she studied several cookbooks, even earned a nutrition certificate. Recalling how she got flour all over her face making pastries, I let out a soft laugh. Wendy turned to look at me, her eyes full of love. I avoided her gaze. My phone buzzed. I answered. A pleasant female voice said, "James, we're ready on this end. When are you coming? Everyone's waiting for you." I thought for a moment. Tomorrow? What's tomorrow? Wendy stepped out from the kitchen, her face showing confusion. I hung up, a faint smile on my lips. "Tomorrow I have a surprise for you." Wendy's eyes lit up, smiling like a child. "Really? My husband is too good to me." She leaned in to kiss me. I subtly dodged, "Go make breakfast." After dinner, Wendy finished washing dishes and discussed with me. "James, there's a case at the company I need to handle. I have to go." I said nothing, just stepped forward, adjusted her coat. "Go." Wendy still wasn't at ease, kept turning back to look at me. I forced a smile. The door closed. The smile on my face vanished instantly. I knew Wendy wouldn't come back tonight, because today was her and Marcus' anniversary. The gifts she brought back yesterday were missing a few items. I returned to the room, started packing, pulled the suitcase. I placed a divorce agreement on the living room sofa. I just wanted to leave quietly, without saying a word, to avoid unnecessary arguments. At the airport, my phone rang. Marcus sent me a photo of a suit Wendy gifted him. She said, "As long as I like it, the whole world would be brought to me." I switched to my secondary account, opened the chat with Wendy. "Lawyer Wendy, my wife's lover is flaunting the gifts she gave. What should I do? It'll help you reclaim all the shared marital assets." I sent all the evidence of the affair from my phone, along with screenshots of Marcus provoking me. Packaged and sent. "Lawyer Wendy, I'm counting on you for this divorce case." Confirming the files were received, I immediately blocked her, then pulled out the SIM card and threw it away. The moment the plane took off, all the dust of the world seemed to settle. The plane landed. London was hit by a big rain, the air fresh and pure, as if washing away all the dirt and grime. I pushed my suitcase, standing under the corridor waiting for the rain to stop. Suddenly the rain in front of me ceased. A pair of red 7-inch heels stopped before me. "James, long time no see." I looked up, meeting her eyes. "Violet, long time no see." Violet smiled faintly. "Took my umbrella, let's go. Everyone's waiting for you." In the restaurant's private room, it was packed with people. They were my future colleagues. Under Violet's introductions, we got acquainted. Once familiar, everyone relaxed. Conversations became more open. A colleague laughed, patting Violet's shoulder. Sister Violet, all these years without a lover. Could it be because of Mr. Lucas? After a round of teasing, Violet's face flushed. Her gaze toward me was intensely warm, making me a bit uneasy. Violet lowered her head, stood up, and asked James, "Want to take a walk outside?" I didn't refuse. After drinking, my head was slightly dizzy. I needed some fresh air. Violet was my senior at school, 1 year ahead of me. When I started university, I joined the school's New Thought debate competition. Senior Violet led our team, young and talented. Before graduating, law firms were already courting her. After graduation, she opened her own law firm, helping disadvantaged groups fight legal battles, building a reputation. She once invited me to join her team, but back then I was smitten with Wendy, my heart and soul devoted to her. At that time, Violet was about to leave the country urgently. She hurriedly asked me out. "I'm leaving soon. Will you come see me off tomorrow?" I shook my head, smiling politely. Violet paused for a moment, took a deep breath. Mustering courage, she said, "At least as friends. Can you give me a keepsake gift?" I rummaged through my pockets for a while, finally removed the whistle charm from my phone case, handed it to her, wishing her a bright future and all the best. My thoughts returned. Violet beside me talked nonstop. I glanced at her wrist, wearing a red string, threaded with the whistle I gave her years ago. We walked side by side, the distance growing closer, until our hands brushed. I flinched as if shocked, pulling my hand back, my face involuntarily heating up. "It's getting late. Let's head back." Violet's eyes were gentle. The warm yellow streetlights bathed her. Suddenly, Violet reached out to me, her voice soft, especially pleasant in the night. "Esteemed Lawyer Lucas, welcome back to the battlefield." It had been a while since I heard that title. It was like being awakened, my back straightening, tougher than ever. I took her hand, thanking her sincerely. At the same time, in the capital, Wendy was searching for me like a madwoman. When she received the files I sent, she was still in Marcus' arms. Until she saw the contents, Wendy's face paled bit by bit, her lips trembling nonstop. "Who's playing this cruel trick on me?" She messaged my number, but only got a red exclamation mark. Fear and anxiety overwhelmed her. Ignoring Marcus' fervor, Wendy hurriedly dressed, calling me while rushing out. "Sister Wendy." Marcus' neck flushed with anger. He punched the wall hard. Wendy drove like a maniac, the tires splashing water on the road. "James' husband, you have to pick up." Fear made her tremble uncontrollably. Tears streamed down without restraint. Seeing those videos, only then did Wendy realize what a foolish thing she'd done. The phone went unanswered again. Wendy screamed, slammed her hand on the steering wheel, then slapped herself hard. Deep down, she vaguely guessed the client was me. But just thinking about how all this time, I clearly knew she'd betrayed our marriage, yet still calmly watched her lie and act. She felt a chill run through her, unable to forgive herself. Wendy broke down emotionally, muttering repeatedly, "Hell, forgive me. James will forgive me." Until she got home and saw the divorce agreement, Wendy collapsed to her knees, tears streaming down. She couldn't hold back, sobbing uncontrollably, kept calling my phone. Everything in the house was the same, except I was gone. Wendy understood me. She knew this time I was serious. Marcus stormed in, angrily grabbing her arm. "Sister, didn't you say we'd celebrate today? If you keep treating me like this, believe me, I'll tell him." Before he could finish, Wendy slapped him, her eyes bloodshot, her beautiful face twisted with sickness, roaring, "You dare go near James? Didn't I warn you not to let my husband know?" Marcus' face paled with fear, clutching his face, panicked. "I was wrong, I know I was wrong." Wendy slapped him again, shouting, then collapsed to the ground. "James, where did you go?" I didn't know any of this. I only knew I had a long road ahead. It had been a while since I worked. On my first day back, Violet brought a stack of books for me to read. Memories of painful school days flooded back. She dragged me to read, analyze cases, take on lawsuits, quickly regaining my old rhythm. Within a year, our team won many cases. In a short time, my reputation soared, becoming a standout in the industry. Of course, that was Violet's exaggerated praise. I gradually adapted to the life and work pace here. I never thought I'd see Wendy again in this lifetime. That day, Violet and I stepped into the office. Hearing colleagues complain, the opposing side hired a brilliant lawyer. No information could be found, only that they'd never lost a case. I felt a faint unease, but didn't think much of it until standing in the courtroom. Wendy in a tailored suit, her eyes blazing as she looked at me. I didn't expect our reunion would be as opponents. I avoided her gaze, giving my all to defend my client. But Wendy was distracted, making constant mistakes. This was her first loss in her career. After the trial, Violet stood at the courthouse door with a bouquet. "Congratulations, it was my favorite irises." I smiled, took the flowers. About to say something, a hoarse female voice came from behind James. "I finally found you." I stopped, didn't turn around. Wendy's eyes were red. She rushed forward, grabbing my hand. "Husband, are you still angry? I truly know I was wrong." "You don't know. This past year, I've searched for you like crazy. Went everywhere but couldn't find you. Until someone told me, London has a brilliant new lawyer. Husband, Mr. Lucas. I really miss you." Hearing each husband, I couldn't help but feel irritated. I turned, looking at her with disgust. "Don't call me husband. I'm not your husband." Hearing me say that, Wendy's eyes filled with tears. She trembled, her voice aggrieved. "James, don't treat me like this. I haven't signed the divorce agreement. We're not divorced. You're still my lawful husband. I know you're just angry. Our years of love, how can you let go so easily? Husband, come back with me. As long as you calm down, you can punish me however you want. Just please don't abandon me. I beg you." My heart filled with disgust. The joy of winning the case completely ruined. I shook off her hand. "Wendy, are you still not done? Do you think we can still go on? Do you want me to release those scandalous photos, those videos online, so everyone can see? The esteemed lawyer Wendy is a woman who cheated in her marriage. Are you satisfied then? But you've reminded me. I'll file for divorce." "That's not true." Wendy shook her head, grabbing my hand again. "James, listen to me explain. The one I love is only you. I never liked Marcus. With him I was just..." His words were too crude. I couldn't help but laugh coldly. "Just what? Just physical? Are you going to tell me? You separated love and desire. You gave your body to someone else, but your love was all for me." "Wendy, don't you find that laughable? There's no way we can continue. So stop bothering me. Get lost. Just thinking of what they did and drugging me, doing it right beside my bed." I was disgusted to the point of nausea. Wendy was speechless from my scolding, only stammering apologies nonstop. I didn't even look at her. Turned to leave, but she grabbed my hand tightly. "James, don't go, I beg you. I've completely cut ties with Marcus. I fired him too. I really know I was wrong." I shouted, about to turn and scold her. But Violet was faster, pulling her hand off. Standing between us, Violet's demeanor was graceful, poised, calm. Her presence outshone Wendy by far. She said coldly, word by word, "Didn't you hear him? He told you to get lost." Wendy's eyes turned fierce. She pursed her lips, raising her hand to slap Violet. "Who are you? My business with my husband is none of your concern." Violet dodged, adjusted her hair, then slapped Wendy across the face. Wendy couldn't dodge, taking the full force of the slap. "If you're human, stop clinging to him, doing so many filthy things. If I were you, I'd want to die of shame right now." Wendy, furious and humiliated, lunged at Violet. In the end, both had scratches on their faces. Neither came out ahead. I rushed forward to separate them. Wendy didn't hold back. Violet's lip was cut. I felt heartache and guilt reaching out. Before I could touch Violet, she winced, looking at me pitifully. "What are you pretending for? You green tea." Wendy saw and wanted to attack Violet again. I stood angrily in front of Violet. Slapped Wendy. "Have you caused enough trouble?" Wendy's eyes were swollen red, her lip also cut. Looking utterly pitiful, she clutched her face, staring at me in disbelief, her eyes full of hurt. "Husband, I'm hurt too. Why don't you care about me?" What is she to you? You hit me for her. I took a deep breath, calmly looked at her. Why do you care what we are? Either way, you and I are done. See you in court next time. I took Violet's hand, leaving without looking back, ignoring her calling my name behind me. In the office, I applied medicine to Violet. She kept wincing, looking utterly wronged. I couldn't help but press a bit harder. Violet angrily said, "Don't be so reckless next time." What if I couldn't fight back? No way! Violet immediately bristled, retorting, "Someone drained by desire like her, I could beat her with ease." I burst out laughing, saying no more. That night at the victory party, colleagues had heard about today. All looked at me with curiosity. I smiled, recounting the past briefly, causing a stir. My God, Mr. James, who'd have thought a great man like you would encounter such a terrible woman? That's outrageous. It's just a pity that lover boy hasn't been punished. I raised an eyebrow. Marcus has already been punished. Marcus was 2 years younger than me, a student one once sponsored. His family had 7 children. He was the least noticed. After graduating, his family wanted to drag him back to their hometown to add labor to the household. To avoid being taken back, he knelt before me, begging me to find him a job. At first, I wanted to help out of pity. Never expected I'd let evolve into my house. An old friend from the capital said, the day after I left, Marcus' family came to the company. They dragged him out, intending to take him back home. Marcus resisted, got beaten black and blue, and was ultimately taken away by his family. But I didn't tell my colleagues this. They laughed, raising their glasses. Sincerely saying, Mr. James, wishing you a smooth divorce, free from that awful woman soon. From that day, Wendy often came to the building where I worked, sometimes placing 999 roses to confess, sometimes leaving cakes, shouting my name downstairs, really killing my appetite. Just seeing her face made me want to eat 2 bites less. I reported her to the police for disturbing the peace. Wendy was taken away quiet for a while. I thought she'd give up, but she did something even crazier. She climbed to the rooftop of our company at night. When I got the call, I was about to sleep. James, if you don't come meet me, I'll jump off your company's roof. How did I forget Wendy was always a mad woman? I cursed silently, but didn't dare provoke her. Only tried to calm her emotions. Don't do anything rash, I'll be there. Her jumping wouldn't matter, but jumping from our company's building would cause a scandal, affecting the company. I texted Violet, then took a taxi over. Seeing me arrive, Wendy smiled. James, I knew you couldn't bear to let me die. You still love me, don't you? Remember this outfit? It's what I wore when we first met. A pale yellow dress, hair in a bun, once made me see her full of life. Now it looked out of place on her. I remember. Come down and I'll talk to you properly. Wendy shook her head. James, say you forgive me. Say you forgive me, and will stay with me properly. Then I'll come down. I stayed silent. Honestly, I'd rather she jumped than say words against my heart. I countered. Wendy, do you think I should forgive you? You did so many things to wrong me. Do you think you deserve my forgiveness? You didn't just betray me. You humiliated me to my face. Do you remember when we first got together? What you said to me when we first started? Wendy and I were both poor, crammed in a rented room less than 20 square meters. No heater in winter. I held her feet to my chest to warm her up. Wendy was full of guilt, her eyes red. James, it's my fault. Because of me, you left home living so hard. I held her, comforting. It's okay. We'll work hard together. As long as you love me, our hearts together. This isn't hardship. Wendy raised 3 fingers, swearing. Wendy, swear to the heavens, in this lifetime, I'll never do anything to wrong James Lucas. If I break this, I'll be hit by a car and die. I laughed, stopping her, not letting her say such things. Wendy held my hand, her eyes resolute. James, if I ever do something to wrong you, you must leave me without hesitation. That person isn't me and doesn't deserve you staying. Wendy at 20 told me not to forgive Wendy at 27. I looked up, meeting her eyes, calmly saying, Wendy, back then you told me, if you ever wronged me, You said I should leave you without hesitation. If done that. So what are you doing now? Threatening me, forcing me to do what I don't want, thinking of the past. Wendy was momentarily stunned. How did she forget? Her greatest wish back then was for James Lucas to be safe and happy. But what was she doing now? Not only wrong James Lucas, but using death to force my forgiveness. Wendy stepped down from the railing, clutching her head in pain. No, James. I don't know why. How did things come to this? I said nothing, just stared at her, confirming she was away from danger. I quietly waved. Violet rushed in with others pinning her down. I couldn't hold back, stepped forward and slapped her, angrily shouting, Wendy, if you want to die, die somewhere else. Don't die in front of me, dirtying my eyes. Wendy's eyes showed hurt. She curled up in pain, sobbing, James, I love you, but she was dragged farther away. Her calls fading out. Violet stood beside me watching worriedly. I touched my face. It was soaked. Wendy's crazy actions got her deported back home. Violet came with me to file for divorce, with a pile of evidence of our broken marriage. The divorce case went smoothly. This time Wendy didn't cause trouble, just quietly followed me to complete the process. The moment I held the divorce papers, I felt an unprecedented relief, seeing me and Violet together. Wendy's eyes were ashen. She hesitantly asked James, if I hadn't done this, we would have been happy, right? We'd stay together until our hair turned white. I'd give you a beautiful, smart daughter, carefully raise her. Then we'd travel the world together, stay together for life. Right, I smiled faintly, said nothing, only as I passed her, said word by word actually. Back then I was preparing for our wedding anniversary, hoping we could have a child together. Stopping there. No need to say more. Wendy would imagine the rest. She looked up in panic, her eyes full of unbearable guilt, finally breaking down, kneeling, sobbing uncontrollably, her whole being like a soulless puppet. Violet stepped forward quietly, asking what I said. I shrugged. Just lied to her that I once hoped for a family of 3. Violet gave me a thumbs up. Wendy couldn't verify my words. She could only replay and suffer over and over. Not long after returning to London, I heard Wendy was in a car accident. She passed away before reaching the hospital. It was Marcus. He escaped his hometown, rented a car, and like a madman wanted to die with Wendy. In the end, he was arrested by the police on the spot. Everything settled. The oath Wendy once made now fully came true. Violet stepped up from behind, covered my phone, standing beside me. James, want to take a walk? I smiled, leaned down, placed a kiss on her eyes. Sure. That winter in England, under the Christmas tree, Violet confessed to me. The end.